62%. That's how many people on Polymarket think their Bitcoin is going below $50,000 this year. The Fear and Greed Index has been sitting in extreme fear for 3 weeks straight. 5 red monthly calendars in a row.
Oh, come on!
And while all of that is happening, the Dubai Sovereign Wealth Fund just doubled their position in BlackRock's ETF. $1.38 billion.
$1 billion.
While you were panicking, they were buying. That's the whole show right there. Let's go. It's Satoshi time. Welcome back to Simply Bitcoin Satoshi. I'm Sophie, and today we're breaking down 7 stories: ETFs, sovereign wealth funds, Jim Cramer doing Jim Cramer things, Saylor doing Saylor things, the US government's Bitcoin reserve, the regulation mess in Washington, and one number that's going to make you put your phone down and just stack.
See ya.
4 months, November, December, January, February, all net outflows from Bitcoin ETFs. People were pulling money out. And then last Monday happened. $458 million in one day. 0 outflows across every single US spot Bitcoin ETF. Not one fund bled a single dollar. And that's just Monday. The full week, $801 million in net inflows. The money is coming back.
We're back.
And it's not retail Twitter doing this, it's institutions rebalancing. The big players who know what they're doing just told you exactly where they stand. Sound familiar? They buy when you sell. Every single time. Now, here's the story that should embarrass every retail bear out there. Mubadala Investment Company, Abu Dhabi's sovereign wealth fund, they manage $330 billion. They just filed with the SEC. In the 4th quarter, while Bitcoin was dropping 23%, they increased their BlackRock Bitcoin ETF position by 46%, and they now hold $630 million in IBIT. Their partner fund, Al Warda, another $408 million. Together, $1.38 billion in one Bitcoin ETF, bought on the way down. This isn't some hedge fund gambling. This is a government, a sovereign nation saying, we believe in this, enough to put in over $1 billion of our country's money in it. During a crash. What do they know that panic sellers don't? Okay, I have to talk about this one. Jim Cramer, CNBC's Jim Cramer, has officially gone 100% bearish on Bitcoin.
Robinhood reports people are starting to get unnerved by how closely aligned this stock is with the price of Bitcoin. Even after today's dramatic rebound, Bitcoin still feels like it's lost its luster. The precipitous decline of the cryptocurrency occurring at the same time as a weakening dollar calls into question whether it's a real storehold of value or even a hedge against inflation. We know nothing. This volatile thing we used to think it could be a currency. That's obviously not going to happen. It's a great speculative asset, I guess, until it started plummeting. So Robinhood may be the repository of something that's become toxic and I think a lot less dependable.
Now, for anyone who's been around this space for more than 5 minutes, you know what this means. The inverse Cramer effect is so real that someone literally made an ETF to bet against his stock picks. When Cramer calls something dead, it tends to come back. So thank you, Jim. Genuinely, this might be the most bullish signal of this week. Real quick, you just heard about sovereign wealth funds dropping over $1 billion into custodied Bitcoin ETFs, meaning someone else holds their Bitcoin. That's fine for Abu Dhabi, but for you, you need to hold your own keys, and that's where the Bitcoin way comes in. Your personal Bitcoin IT team, self-custody training, cybersecurity, Plan B residency, over 20 years of expertise. They simplify the whole thing so that you can stay in complete control of your stack. Book a free 30-minute consultation at thebitcoinway.com/simply. Tell them Satoshi sent you. On the same day that the Fear and Greed Index is screaming sell everything, Michael Saylor, the Chad, posts this on X this morning. I'm buying Bitcoin right now. Are you? That man holds 720,000 Bitcoin. He just bought 3,000 more last week. And when CNBC sat him down last month and asked point blank, what happens if Bitcoin falls 90%?
If Bitcoin falls 90% for the next 4 years, we'll refinance the debt. That's
Refinance
all.
where, Michael?
We'll refinance the debt. We'll roll it forward. Becky Quick's face, by the way, priceless. Strategy has 2.5 years of cash on the balance sheet. They're not selling. They're buying every quarter, forever. You can disagree with his strategy, but you cannot argue with his conviction. Okay, this one's big, and not enough people are talking about it. The US government already has a strategic Bitcoin reserve, as we know. Trump signed that executive order a year ago. The US currently holds around 328,000 Bitcoin. But Senator Cynthia Lummis is pushing the Bitcoin Act, legislation to codify this into law and buy 1 million Bitcoin over 5 years. Budget neutral, no new taxes.
The strategic Bitcoin reserve can help people in my generation right the wrongs that we did to your generation and generations to follow. And I feel deeply committed to making that happen.
Let me say that again. The United States government, led by Bitcoiners in Congress, wants to buy 1 million Bitcoin using existing Federal Reserve remittances, not your tax dollars. The bill that's moving through Congress right now, H.R. 2112, was introduced to give Trump's executive order the full force of law. The U.S. government is officially a Bitcoin bull. Still think this is a fad? So the US government is stacking, Abu Dhabi is stacking, Saylor's stacking. But what about you? If you're watching all of this and thinking, okay, I need to start buying, let me make it easy. Bitcoin Well, the self-custody Bitcoin on-ramp. You buy Bitcoin directly into your wallet. No middlemen holding your coins. No custodial risk. Non-custodial by design, actually. Trusted by over 50,000 users, and they're publicly traded on the TSX Venture Exchange. Set up daily recurring buys and stack automatically. Sign up at bitcoinwell.com/simplybtc. That's my link. And right now, you get 3 chances to win 1 million sats just for signing up. That's 0.01 Bitcoin. Not nothing. Bitcoin.com/simplybtc. So let's talk about what's not working in Washington. The Digital Asset Market Clarity Act, the big crypto regulation bill, if you will, is dead in the water. It passed the House with bipartisan support last summer, 294 to 134. Actually impressive. But then it got to the Senate, and Coinbase, the largest US crypto exchange, pulled their support. They said the bill could restrict competition and hamper innovation. Within hours, Senate leadership postponed the markup committee vote. No new date. Here's the thing though, Bitcoin doesn't need a bill. Bitcoin's not waiting on Congress to figure out its jurisdiction. Bitcoin's protocol doesn't care about the SEC or the CFTC. And while senators argue about who gets to regulate what, you can be sitting there holding your own keys outside of the whole system. Regulate that. And I saved this one for last because it deserves to close the show. In about 12 days, around March 15th, the 20 millionth Bitcoin is going to be mined. 20 million out of 21 million total that will ever exist. That's 95% of all the Bitcoin already out there. The remaining 1 million will take 114 years to mine. The last Bitcoin won't be mined until the year 2140. Now, let's make this worse. Better. For us, somewhere in between 2 and 4 million Bitcoin are already lost forever. Wallets with forgotten passwords, hard drives at the bottom of landfills, people who passed away without passing on their keys. So the real number of Bitcoin that can actually be bought, sold, or held is actually closer to 16 or 17 million. 16 or 17 million coins for 8 billion people, while Abu Dhabi's government is buying $1 billion worth, while Strategy is hoarding 720,000, while the US government is talking about buying 1 million, and the Fear and Greed Index still says extreme fear. You want to know what scarcity looks like? You're watching it happen in real time. So, stack accordingly. We just talked about the 20 millionth Bitcoin getting mined, so it's only right that we talk about the people doing the mining. Mining Disrupt is the world's largest Bitcoin mining expo. The biggest names in the industry, cutting-edge rigs, Bitcoin and AI integration, live-streamed keynotes, and the best networking you'll find anywhere in the space. Go to miningdisrupt.com and grab your tickets. Use code SimplyBitcoin for 20% off. Check miningdisrupt.com for the latest event date and location, and we'll see you there. Here's what I want you to walk away with today. The Fear and Greed Index says panic. 62% of Polymarket says Bitcoin is going below 50,000. 5 red months in a row. And yet, Abu Dhabi is buying. Saylor is buying, the US government is accumulating, and 95% of all Bitcoin that will ever exist is already out there. The dip is real, the fear is real, but the supply cap is also real, and big money knows it.
The struggle is real.
So this is not the end. This is the discount. Thanks for watching Simply Bitcoin's Satoshi. Don't forget to smash the like button, share the show with your friends, drop a comment below. I read all of them. Follow me on X at InternetSophie without an E at the end. And as always, stack, slay, and stay bullish, baby.